and then he disappears in fog of war. I wasn't sure what is he doing, but I think I can pull off something funny here. I made it look like I was shoving the wave, and then...
Ladies and gentlemen, big shout out to the notification squad for clicking faster than me in game. So today I'm breaking down Ekko versus Galio matchup, so make sure to stick around because you won't believe what I did to Galio at the end. I know many of you, my dedicated viewers, are tired of getting stomped by Galio the Colossus. I hear it all the time, Galio is a counter pick, and honestly they are probably right. But I've discovered a unique strategy that top players like Ban abuse to dominate this lane every single time. Let's be real, Galio's tough even if you play many other champions. So whether you main Ekko or not, stick around as we dive into Galio's perspective. Before we dive in, this video has chapters so you can skip to the part that covers your needs. If you're not familiar with Galio's abilities, here's a 15-second champion spotlight.
Welcome to the League of Legends Champion Spotlight, featuring Galio, the Colossus.
Passive Galio smashes the ground and dealing AoE damage. Q is 2 gust of wind, W gives a passive shield and taunt target, E a dash that knocks up enemy hit, and R flies towards an ally, shielding him and knocking up enemies. Glad that we got that out of the way. The first thing we need to understand here is Galio's point of view. Knowing exactly what this Colossus wants in this matchup is crucial because our job is destroying his plan. So let's first check out what is he cooking for us. Fun fact, the Colossus knows he's not that scary early on, so his first mission is to survive until he gets stronger. But as he gets stronger, the fear starts to fade. He's ready to trade, ready to take risks, because now dying is not so easy. When he gets closer to level 6, his lane is clear, push you under tower so he won't worry about you anymore, and use his R to roam. So basically you're stuck in lane farming and he's flying across the map saving his teammates. The problem with Galio is that he's technically a global threat, so if you lose against him, it's gonna be a disaster for the whole team. And that's why I'm here, to stop that from happening. Because let's be real, I've been clapped by Galio more times than I'd like to admit. But hey, at least I've learned how to punch him back way harder too. So keep watching because I'm about to reveal the tiny mistakes you're making that are probably holding you back from dominating this matchup. But before we get into that, let's first break down Galio's plan level by level. At level 1, Galio starts Q to guarantee lane control. This helps him manage Ekko's early aggression from a distance and also gives him decent push pressure. He can also start W first, but this is a defensive approach to the laning phase. So when you see a level 1 Galio with the magic shield, that's where you know he has W. Sneaky f***. Then when he gets level 2, Galio is ready to shut down any incoming engage. But he will keep on manipulating the wave and he won't play aggressive yet. He's gonna be a happy Colossus hitting both you and the wave with his Q. But here's where things get interesting. This is where most players fall into his trap. You see, Galio is playing passive for as long as you can remember. So in your mind, you're thinking that he's very weak and he can't do much to you. Don't be so sure. Get ready, because at level 3, this is where Galio starts engaging on you out of nowhere. He'll use his E as a gap closer, and trust me, you really don't want it to land. Seriously. You would feel his punch in real life. But even if he misses, don't be happy just yet. He can still follow up with his full combo and make your life miserable. That damage is coming from a tank. Welcome to League of Legends. And yes, we're about to outplay his damage and flip this nonsense on its head. Stay locked in, you do not wanna miss what happens next. From level 4 to 6, Galio will play on autopilot mode, so he will shove any wave he sees in front of him and disappears. Sadly, he's not interested in you anymore. He'll push waves and look for an opportunity to impact the map. It gets even better when he hit his level 6 power spike, because his ultimate can totally catch players off guard. And by other players, I mean your poor pathetic teammates.
Help me! Help!
I know this is totally a nightmare, so instead of crying in a corner like a helpless little baby, how about you face your problem like a real man? Come on, let's plan on how we're gonna turn this nightmare into a victory together. As I mentioned earlier, in this section we're gonna talk about all the key details to keep in mind when playing against Galio. In fact, I will tell you what mistakes you're doing that are preventing you from winning this lane. So stay focused because this is the most important section in the entire breakdown. So let's get started. I talked about this in many of my previous videos. Ekko wants to build the lead, then by the time he gets his level 6, he will look to snowball his lead by roaming to other lanes. But the issue in this matchup that Galio has a lot of defensive tools that would make it a bit hard for you to even get him low. But I have the perfect strategy for you, so let's break it down level by level. You wanna start with Q and nothing else because Galio is just too tanky. Let's say you start E and you engage on Galio. Well, with the help of Halo Blades, you can technically trade with him and get out in a blink of an eye. But like I said, Galio is very tanky, so here's why this is very bad for you. Galio's most popular keystone is Aftershock, which boosts his armor and magic resist. He might also have one of these too. Second Wind healing him over time after taking damage, or Bone Plating reducing damage from your next 3 hits or spells. So after we covered his runes, now it makes so much sense why it's bad for you if you engage on him at level 1. So what you wanna do at level 1 is just poke Galio as many times as you can. You should be able to land at least 2 Qs on him before the second wave comes in. You should also keep the wave in the middle while dodging his poke while maintaining your farm. So yeah, it's not gonna be easy, I know, but hey, I can still trust your skills. 30 seconds later, Galio is still not that big of a threat. He's not gonna play aggressive yet. If he tries to engage on you, just back off and don't fall into his trap. And if he overextends on top of your minions, you can trade with him and you should be able to win the trade. So now, the first mistake Ekko players make is the following. They see Galio use his Q on the wave and they think that's the right window to engage on him. Nope, that's not ideal. Punishing his Q cooldown is not what's gonna make you win this lane. Instead, what you wanna punish at level 2 are 2 main things. First, his passive magic shield, and second, his bone plating cooldowns. If you land one single Q on Galio, these 2 will go on cooldown with one single ability. Now, if he uses Q, you can totally engage on him before he gets those cooldowns back. So for the combo, you wanna press EQ, proc your passive with Halo Blades, and get out immediately before he explodes on you with his Aftershock. Congrats! Now you can do this over and over again. Galio tank is no more. Yo, don't get excited, we're not done yet, because it's only getting harder from now on. Galio is gonna get level 3, and that's where he would start engaging on you. So let's showcase 2 possible scenarios. For the first scenario, Galio will play aggressive, but you should be able to tank some of his damage with your W shield. So use this to your advantage. But the main risk here is his E. If he lands his gap closer on you, you're probably gonna lose a lot of your HP. And the other big risk is his W. So if he gets close enough with his dash, he can taunt you with his W. Trust me, his damage is not bad at all for a tank. So I don't want to make it sound like it's very easy, but the only solution to this is to try and E away. As much as I hate running away with E, sadly that's the only way. Whenever he starts dashing towards you, press your E button backwards. Is that clear? Great. Now if he misses his W, you should be able to engage on him winning the trade. Basically, Galio has no Aftershock if he can't land a single CC on you. No shit, Sherlock. So basically, you're just reacting to the Colossus actions. But what if the Colossus does nothing except pushing waves? Unlike you, Mr. Colossus has nothing to lose by pushing waves only, so he might never try to E on you at all. And it makes sense because his job is to stay healthy so he can help his team with the peel that he can provide. So in that case, you will never E into him unless you land your stun. But your stun is not always guaranteed, right? Don't worry, you can still flip your combo using your Q first, then you can time your E whenever you want. You should be able to dodge his E and then use your blink to trade effectively. So be patient and bait his ability. But what if Galio holds his E and kept waiting for your dash?
I'm gonna throw my fucking headset off.
Well, that's your time to step in. I'll give you 5 seconds to think about the answer. Feel free to pause the video if you want more time to think. Use it anyway. I'm not joking, I'm serious. Don't play like a scared cat, because many players would play this lane way too smart and won't engage. But that's another mistake, because the reality is there is no way you can dodge every single ability in this matchup and still deal your damage and win, unless you're faker. Seriously, if Galio is playing to perfection, you need to make sacrifices. Because worst case scenario, you go even in this trade, but on the bright side, his E has a longer cooldown. So if you really wanna kill him, the best thing to do is to sacrifice a bit of your HP to take away his E. Now, once your combo is up again, ignore everything and trade with him as fast as possible, because his E is 10 seconds cooldown, so yours is only 1 second less. So use this very small tiny window to make a difference. Trust me, this will always work, because Galio will step up thinking his E is almost back up. Now go ahead and start using this in your games, and maybe make them believe you're the next faker. So one small thing to add, from now on his W shield and his runes won't matter that much, so you will keep the same playstyle until you hit your level 6. Now your ultimate is absolutely a game changer, because Galio can't do anything with his ultimate in lane, so you can still treat him as a level 5 champion. The ideal usage of this ability is for damage, so try to land it on top of Galio. But honestly, if you didn't kill him until now, then it's most likely not gonna happen, since he most likely bought some magic resist. Don't worry about it, because your job is not to stay and babysit Galio anymore. You should be able to keep Galio pushed all the time, so he can't go anywhere. I can't stress this enough. Leave mid lane. Go somewhere else. Try invading with your jungler. Try impacting the map. Go bot, go top, dive some people. This is how your champion plays out. You're an AP assassin and you need some gold. Try to get a lead somewhere else to carry your game. By carrying your game, I mean do your part. You're not gonna destroy Nexus on your own, you know. Also, if you want more tips and tricks, here's a few. Fun fact, Galio's magic shield will only restores after 10 seconds if you don't damage him. So if you keep damaging him every 9 seconds, his shield will never restores. W passive shield can prevent you from cancelling his recall. And finally, a very popular mistake that many players do when playing against Galio is that they dodge his Q by walking backwards. Instead, a better way of dodging it is by walking forward. Well, it's not always good to walk towards a Galio, but you should do it whenever you can. Take me for example. Even though I'm telling you guys to dodge like that, I still managed to walk into every Galio Q in this gameplay footage. You can take a look by yourself.
So the first thing we notice right away is that Galio has already started W. That purple thing that you can clearly see on his HP bar is basically our clue. So this is his magic shield then. We can have a feel of how this gameplay will go. This Galio is basically taking the defensive approach. You can notice that the matchups start to play itself when you have a plan ready in the back of your mind. We walk as close as possible to Galio so I don't miss my Q. This first Q did two main things. Since I dealt magic damage to him, we successfully took away his passive shield. And at the same time, we put his bone plating in his runes going cooldown. So again, I Q the wave and Galio to keep his shield down. And finally, Galio decided to use his W on me, but as you can see, I ended up winning that trade just because he had no bone plating and no passive shield. My Q is up again, but sadly I missed this one and got hit by his passive. We can technically say that this lane is going good so far. The second wave is here and it's time for level 2. We both got the level up at the same time, and this is where I hit another Q on him, but this time The second Q hit him too. I looked in the top right corner, great, he has no bone plating, so I should be winning this trade. And this is where Galio tricked me. It looks like Galio leveled up his E instead of Q, so this is a really bad play by me. So we should be aware that I'm in a bad position and we can clearly see a horse in the minimap and he's most likely trying to gank me next. I have my flash up if needed because I don't mind wasting his time. So now Galio failed his E, I dashed away since we know Hikarim is nearby. We need to be patient and make sure we're safe first, then we're gonna look for a play. So Galio pushed the wave towards me and then he disappears in fog of war. I wasn't sure what is he doing, but I think I can pull off something funny here. I made it look like I was shoving the wave and then I took him down. So that was his plan? Not even close, Galio. Not even close. And there you have it, every scenario you will face against Galio, broken down piece by piece. Now next time you see that giant statue charging at you, you won't panic, you'll outplay him with a poker face. If you made it this far, bro, you're truly a legend. Share your comment down below, I always respond to all comments. And of course, if you found this breakdown helpful, drop a like, subscribe for more. Always thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.